Hello. Okay, welcome back. Chapter 56 today. Let's get going. In my head, we're still walking. The pulse of each footfall, one after another. In my head, it's still going, still beating on, and Bear's voice too. How many miles, Juniper? When I open my eyes, in a moment of lucidity, the scene is still the same. Stuck. We haven't moved on. The rocky ceiling, the slate floor like our kitchen back home, the dark pool of water from which Ghost drinks, and the disc of light behind. We found our lair, and Emily is here, my beautiful ragdoll Emily, her dress like a meadow. How can that be? I bought her for you, Bear says, shyly. I had her in my rucksack. She was a present for when we got to Ennerdale. I thought you'd want her. I would. I do, I murmur. Ennerdale, for when we got there. The lucidity of all this, is that the right word? The clarity, the clearness, the stillness. Everything is so still. The beat has stopped. Of course we're not walking anymore. Ju, drink. You need to drink. Bear's holding up a bottle to my lips, and the liquid pours down my throat, clean and reviving. This isn't cave water. He dutifully feeds me the tablets too, and more strips of meat and little fish he says are minnow. I made a spear Jew, like I said I would. It worked. He's so pleased and proud. I try to eat the fish because I want Bear to smile again, but really it's just the water I want. Outside the cave, there's a tree. It's got brown leaves on, but I watch them fall. Each time it gets light, I watch them fall, and then one day the tree is bare. It's right down to the bone and the branches are white. Snow, Juniper, like in the globe, in the Emporium. Bear's holding my hand, squeezing it tight. Snow? I'm cold, Ju. He's crying. I don't know what to say because I've forgotten what cold is. It feels like my whole body's on fire. We're like real bears, hibernating, Bear says, and I pull him up against me. Maybe that's what we're doing, hibernating in our cave, our cavern, our den. Bear, I say in a sudden wakefulness, you mustn't forget the GPS when you carry on. I should have let him use it, practice it. Don't say that. And the rifle. You have to keep the rifle ready. It's important. It's not important, Ju. I'm staying with you, Bear says fiercely, and he presses his fists over his ears. Ghost sleeps right up against us, keeping us warm. Sometimes she purrs. It's meant to mean a cat's happy, but I don't think it means happy. It's just reassurance. Our hunting cat. She's keeping Bear alive. That was my job, but I can't do it anymore. Once, long ago, long before, in a country called Italy, 2 baby brothers were abandoned by a river. They were left to die. A she-wolf found them. She carried them to a cave like they were her own cubs. She looked after them, saved them. But when they grew up, they must have turned their back on her, as their one desire was to build a city. Outside our cave, there are wolves. I hear them. And sometimes I see them too. Grey shadows at the entrance. Don't go outside, Bear, I scream, though it comes out more of a whisper. Bear's voice is defiant. I'm 6, Ju. 6 years old. Like that will save him. Maybe the wolves wouldn't hurt us anyway. That she-wolf suckled those 2 babies she found, Romulus and Remus. I think that one of them died in the end. It must have been Remus, because the city they built was called Rome. Ghost will look after us. She'll keep the wolves away. It's winter, that's the real predator. The season that, like all seasons, the city has kept from us, the cold at its core. It's coming with numbing fingers of an icy breath. It's reaching out for us. Ooh, I really like that metaphor, personification there. We're children of the wild, and we came back to it. We offered ourselves up for the taking. I dream of two bodies of bone still intertwined, stripped back, stripped bare, like fine porcelain. And in the future, far, far ahead, when the disease has burned itself out and humans can come out again, maybe someone will find us. And just like in the past, when fossilized bones in a cave showed elephants and hippopotamuses once roamed through England, so too will people know that there were children here, a girl and a boy, who never quite made it home. Chapter 57. The mouth of the cave is lit, and there is this new sound. People. Bear, be careful. Be careful of people most of all. They could have gone bad. They might have had to. Even that woman, Violet, probably wasn't bad in the beginning. Bear's not here to listen to me. He's already gone, and Ghost's gone too. The cave's empty. When Bear's back, someone is with him. A woman. She's wearing an animal skin. I think it might even be lynx. She smells of earth, and her hair stretches down her back in one long plait. But all this I notice later. When she comes into the mouth of the cave, I think she's an angel. She places her palm on my forehead, and her brow pleats as Bear lifts up the blankets and shows her my swollen, festering foot. She then nods her head and smiles at me. Don't worry, little one. We'll make you well. We're good at this. Bear's face is tight and worried, and sort of proud too, because he's brought her here. And I love him so, so much. I sink back, glad to be the little one, to have this woman here, her warm hands working to make me well. I can smell herbs and garlic and onions and something acrid, something unpleasant. But the woman's face and hands make me trust her. She sings as she wipes my brow and places a cup by my mouth and asks me to drink. Commands me. Come, Juniper, your brother needs you. Is it her voice that I'm hearing, this woman that Bear has brought to save me? Or is it Annie Rose back in our glass house? Someone calls the woman Mama. Is it our mother? I can't ask Bear. I'm not sure what stopped working, my brain or my voice. I just know I have to be silent. I can't form the words, and my energy is needed elsewhere. I drift, in and out of sleep, and in and out of the palm house too. I stir when the woman touches my foot, but she nods when I squirm, and I close my eyes with pain. It's good you feel it. And over again, shh, little one, we're here now. The woman's voice sounds like music, and when she says these words over and over, shh, shh, though I don't think I'm crying. Time passes, and the woman is still here, by my side. She's not our mother. The voice calling Mama comes from another boy, almost my age. He comes into the mouth of the cave and brings things, takes things away. He's always smiling, and the woman calls him Cam. Sometimes Bear is with him, following him in and out like he always did with Etienne. Bear says the boy's name too. Cam! Cam! The name winds in and out of my head like a river. It's not this boy I see in my dreams, though. In my dreams, it's always Etienne. It's not just hours, it's days passing. I know this because sometimes it's dark, and then when I wake again, it's light and disorientated. I form Bear's name, and he comes running. If he doesn't, the woman goes to the cave opening and calls him for me, calls him louder. His name sounds strange in her mouth, foreign. When Bear comes, his cheeks are red, like he's been running a long way, or if it's night, like he's just come from the fire and I can smell burning somewhere outside the cave. Bear! It's okay now, Ju. Hester and Cam and the others are looking after us. You're getting better. I nod. I can feel it. I'm not just clinging on. I'm waking up, coming back to life. I've been shut up in the dark like that old Jack-in-the-Box, but Hester's winding the handle of the tin, and with each turn, the lid's lifting higher. When I'm sat up for the first time and eating solid food, some warm, thick soup with chunks of meat, Bear comes and sits beside me. He watches me eat and takes my bowl out when I've finished. When he comes back, his eyes are wet. "I thought you were dying, Ju." He can say it now, because now it's not going to be true. He can see it. I'm getting better. "You saved me," I say. Bear bends down into the curve of my arms, cautious, afraid he'll hurt me. "You saved me," I repeat. "Hester did that," he says, embarrassed. "She's Cam's mum, and Queenie." "Queenie? Cam's sister, my friend." I smile. "You saved me too. You found the cave, and you brought me here, and you found Hester." "I had to get help, Ju. I knew they were good because I heard them singing. They're forest folk, Ju." "The forest folk?" "The twig signs," Bear says. "Don't you remember?" "Hester's people made the signs?" "Well, some of their people did. Forest folk, like I told you." "Have you got the GPS, Bear? I wanted to check the route." His face scrunches up, red. "Bear?" "The battery's gone. I took the GPS to find the cave and I didn't turn it off. I thought I had, but I didn't, and now it's dead." "Dead," I repeat slowly. The GPS felt like a lifeline, winding out golden thread for us to follow. Maybe it was greedy for me to expect it to last all the way. "We have Mum's map," I say. "We can use that." Bear looks relieved. "I found water too, didn't I? A proper mountain from a waterfall." I hug him close. That was the best water I've ever tasted. "Really?" Cross my heart. "But don't hope to die." No, I'm all done with dying. Chapter 58. The next morning, Hester leads me out into the light. My left foot feels strange, like it's not quite part of me. But then my right foot feels strange too. I've been lying down a long time. Outside the cave, it's totally different to the world I left. It's not green anymore. It's white. Everywhere, everything bleached and glazed and frosted. We came through the wardrobe. We walked right into Narnia. Sunlight glints off the snow like 1,000 torches, and I have to put my hand over my eyes to shield them from all the light. We're on a hillside, and down in the bottom of the valley is a lake, a looking glass, reflecting back trees and sky. I'm about to ask Bear's question, "Ennerdale, how many more miles?" when this silver-grey cat emerges out from the trees and stands there watching me. "Ghost?" I gasp. "It's a good name for her," Hester says. "She's different." I recognise the markings, of course, I do, but she's a whole new shade of colour. "It's definitely your cat," Hester says. "All the days we've been here, she's barely left your side." "She was golden." "She's grown her winter coat," Hester says matter-of-factly. "She's camouflaged," Bear chirps, appearing beside me. "Didn't you notice? For the snow. The snow's pretty, isn't it, Juniper?" He sprinkles snowflakes onto my hand, tiny ice crystals, snowflowers or stars, almost violet in the light. They prick at my palm. "Beautiful," I say, distracted, already staring back at Ghost. I call her, but she retreats back under the trees, gone, like she's changed into her name, a real phantom of the forest. For some stupid reason, I start to cry. The ice flowers melt away in my hand. "Ju," Bear says, wary. A little girl's standing a way off, her head to one side. She has dark hair winding down to her knees and pink dusty cheeks, and she's wearing fur, like a rabbit. She's beckoning to Bear. "Be off with you both," Hester says, shooting him and Bear. Be off with you, Hester says, shooing him, and Bear scampers off after the girl without a backward glance. He's had enough of me crying. Hester sits me down on a rock just outside the cave, where icicles hang from the top. She puts her fur around my shoulders, and I look at it, suspicious. It's not Lynx, she says, laughing. Mine is. Your cat doesn't think much of me. She gives us all a wide berth. You and Bear, though, it's one of the strangest things I've ever seen. Like you're her kittens. How long have I been ill? Hester's face creases. A couple of weeks, I reckon. When your brother found us, he wasn't talking much sense, but that wound of yours, I reckon it had been festering for a good few days, more. Then we've been with you for 7 days now. 2 weeks. No wonder there's snow. It must be December already. We should have been at Ennerdale by now. Did Bear tell you, I say, reticently, that we're on a journey? Aye, he did, that. Ennerdale. You know it? I ask in a rush. I have a fair idea. It's near one of our stopping places. We go to those valleys sometimes. We collect berries from your trees. I look at her, confused, and then she winks at me. The juniper tree. They make a nice tipple of gin. Have you seen anyone? I ask, impatient. Any people? Hester nods slowly. There's a village down by the lake. We've traded with them various times. It's not a bad destination to have, Juniper. I can hardly believe she's saying it. She's seen people there, a whole village. It's still there, Ennerdale. But Hester's face has changed, darkened, like when the sun goes behind a cloud. This ain't the right time of year, not to cross those mountains. I shake my head. We have to our parents. Ennerdale's our home now. Aye, I get that. And if it were spring or summer or even a few weeks back, we'd take you, show you the way, but not winter time, not with the coldest weather on its way, the deep freeze. You ain't seen nothing yet. Wait with us, wait a while, let the winter do its worst, and then go. No, I say, shaking my head. We've come this far, we're so close now. We've got a map that tells us the way. Hester swipes out with her hand dismissively. The way over the mountains changes all the time, storms and ice. I keep my face composed. Our mum left the map for us. She drew the route on herself and she's been there. She's there now, waiting for us. Hester softens. Listen, I'll make a deal with you. We'll go west with you a little way until I see how that foot's bearing up. Yes? Yes, Hester says. I can't leave you for the cat to look after. She laughs again, this soft pearl of laughter. Although she wasn't doing half bad. We'd be dead without her, I say loyally. I reckon you might be, Hester nods gravely. I've sent the rest of our party south, with most of the horses and the wagons and the kids in that. That's the direction we normally travel in wintertime. We're like migrating birds. But I reckon those of us left can at least set you on your way. Then it's up to you, Juniper Green. She looks me up and down like she's sizing me up. Cam and Queenie are still here, I say defensively as laughter floats up from the lake. Hester twinkles. Aye, they wouldn't be having none of it when I said they should go. Queenie's taken a right shine to Bear. She's sticking to him like a burr, she is. And Cam ain't half excited about you waking up. A new audience for his tales. We don't get many outsiders. We're insiders, really, I say. Or we were. Hester nods. Aye, you're from Portia Steel City, Bear tells me. I nod. You made a good choice, I reckon, getting out. It wasn't a choice. No, Hester says simply. I want to tell her more. Tell her about Annie Rose and Etienne, how they'd have come too if they'd been able to. How we had to leave them behind. We didn't want to, but we had to. I don't say anything, though. Annie Rose and Etienne and Miss Endo and the Palm House are all shut away deep inside me. It would hurt too much to even say their names. When do we leave? I ask instead. Tomorrow. One more day for your foot to rest and for you to properly wake up. And then I reckon we've been here long enough. You'll find that out about us. We don't like to stick around. We tried to do that too, to keep moving. Sounds like you did pretty well until that ugly great trap. Who do you think set it? I ask. Hester looks thoughtful. Hard to say. Not us. We shoot clean with an arrow. There are others, though, people who don't fit in anywhere. I nod. There was a woman. She found Bear. Or caught him. Caught us both. She was bad. My voice trails off. Hester pats my shoulder, even though I'm not even telling half the story. It's tough out here. People go hard, just like the land in winter. It's different for us. We're meant to be out in the open. Who are you? I ask, curious and embarrassed too, in case it's rude somehow. Bear calls you the forest folk. He said you made the signs we keep seeing. Hester laughs warmly. We're travellers, my girl. Romanies, gypsies. You might have called us once, but forest folk will do. It has a certain ring to it. I didn't think you existed. Not anymore. I mean, I know the words from stories. I thought the travellers had gone to live in the cities like everyone else did. Aye, Hester says softly. Lots did. The city authorities were fierce back then, rounding us up like we were animals. But some of us got away, and we knew where to hide. Travellers had disease resistance? Hester shakes her head slowly, sad. Not all of us, but it was never our way to be shut up. Never to see the hills or breathe the sea air again. We've been prisoners before. We know how it works. We took our chances in the elements, ticks or no ticks. I watch Hester's face. It's like watching that old film reel back in assembly. Sadness turned up so loud it's unbearable. Lots of folk died, she goes on. Lots of little ones and older ones too. The disease don't always come all at once. Sometimes it comes slowly, wears you down. That's what happened to Cam and Queenie's mum. You're not their mum? I cut in. Hester snorts. I'm far too old. Look at me. I look at her, gaze at her, but I still couldn't guess her age. Cam calls you Mama? Hester laughs again. Plenty do. I guess it's something we all need sometime or another. Someone to call Mama. And we're going to stop there. We're on chapter 59. Check back in tomorrow. Bye.